many people don't take bigger action in their business because they feel discouraged. And often, they've never been taught how to make decisions, educated decisions. And so I would like to teach you how to do that. Because otherwise, many times you're stuck. So I did what we'll call the leverage Q&A this morning. And a couple of the questions were around, how do I know when it's time to hire? I need to hire somebody to take over the day-to-day of my business. How do I know it's time? Because I'm not sure I have the money. And I said, well, we need to make a decision around this, and there are ways that you can find the money, but first the decision must come. And so I want to share with you my 5-step process for making educated decisions. Playing a bigger game in your business usually involves money, doesn't it? Wouldn't it be convenient if it didn't? Use this for any situation, whether it's finding an admin, getting somebody to do your branding, getting mentorship. Maybe you can, if you're not sure how to make a decision about how to join us, maybe you can use it for that. If you're looking to bring somebody on who is a second in command in your business, whatever it is, getting a lease for your office, wherever you need to think about, can you afford something or not, you can use this. So number 1, get clear on your goals. I know this is one of those, yeah, duh, but I really want you to listen to this. Can saying yes to this opportunity get me closer and faster toward my goal? So if you need an admin, can your admin get you closer and faster towards your goal? Yeah, right? So if you are clear about your goal, and you take several steps in the right direction every day, eventually you will succeed. So decide what it is that you want, write it down, review it constantly, and each day do something that moves you toward your goals. This is not about staying stuck on the elevator. Number 2, calculate your return on investment. This is where you ask yourself, if I could make back my financial investment by 2 to 4 times over my lifetime, would it be a smart investment? What about 10 times? Sometimes people say, well, how can I get my money back on this investment within like 3 months or a year? Look at the whole lifetime. You don't go to college and say, how can I make back? How much do we spend for college these days? Like $250,000? How can I make back my $250,000 university investment within the first year between I'm 21 and 22? That makes no sense. We make some investments and we expect them to be paid back in 20 years, and we make some investments and say this needs to be paid back, like return on investment in 6 months. No. But if it's a 2 to 4 times or 10 times what I invested, is it worthwhile? And if you can't get a return on your investment, then don't do it. I do not do something where I don't get at least 2 times, at the minimum 2 times the return on investment. Turn to the person next to you and say, that's smart. That's smart. Number 3, consider the alternative. Bless you. When you're stuck, when you're waiting, ask yourself, what happens if I don't say yes? Do I want to be in the same place a year from now? Would I want to be in the same situation in 5 years? It's really that simple. Number 4, consult your intuition. I'm a spiritual person, and I do business. I'm in the material world. What is that? I'm a spiritual person in a material world. I bring my spiritual sense in my business day to day. A lot of people make their decisions from here. Yes, you want to be logical, but sometimes you can over-logic yourself into making the wrong decision. So, how I do it, and I hope this serves you, is I ask myself, if I silence my fears for a moment, and I decide to listen to my gut, my intuition, tell me about what to do. What is my gut telling me? One way to do that is, because when we're making financial decisions, is to take the money out of the equation. Write that down. Take the money out of the equation. Move it to the side. Because money has a way of really messing up our decision-making process, would you say? Yeah. So you take the money to the side, and then you ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, yes, I want this. I need this. This would be good for me. And 1 being, hell no. This is not right for me. You move the money to the side, scale of 1 to 10, where are you? Check in. The number will come up immediately. If it's a 7 or above, the answer is yes. If it's 7 or below, or if it's 6 or below, the answer is no. But this is about moving the money to the side and really checking in. You can turn a 7 into an 8, 8 into a 9, 9 into a 10, but you cannot turn a 6 into a 10. That's my experience only. Is this helpful? Yes. I use this for hiring. I use this for when I talk to a client or prospective client. I need to check in whether I want that person. Whether it's charging for something or anything in my business, I use the scale of 1 to 10 thing. But move the money to the side. Because, why? Because you can always find the money. The money is everywhere, remember? 50 ways. You can find the money. But checking in with your intuition is everything. And then trust that, because your intuition is actually source talking to you. This is ego. Deep breath in. I'm giving you my hacks. I hope this is good. Yeah? Is this helpful? Okay, good. Good. Number 5, trust yourself. If I came from a place of faith rather than fear, would I say yes or would I say no? This is an invitation to let your faith be bigger than your fear. I've made some pretty crazy yes decisions in the past because I said, I do not make my decisions from fear, I make them from faith. And I'll explain that to you later today. I have a great video to show you today that you're going to love. It's going to change everything for you. How was that helpful, these 5 things? Raise your hand. How was it helpful specifically? Who wants to tell me? Yes, right here. Right behind you, yeah. Yes.
I've been trying for about 4 years just to seamlessly do this 1 to 7 exercise.
Yes.
1 to 10.
She's been trying for a long time to do the 1 to 10. Yes.
And it always seems very forced. That's the most natural I've ever seen it done.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Yeah, your intuition will kick in and give you the number. And then you ask yourself, what makes it a 7 or what makes it a 9 and not a 10? And then you just strategize that and come up with the answer using the VODA thing that we talked about last night. Did you guys do the VODA thing? Isn't that cool? Nobody did the VODA thing. Okay, nobody did it. Well, do it when you get home because it works. Give her a hand, please. Let's talk about the mindset of overcoming resistance. Resistance is the biggest thing that has gotten in my way of really playing a much bigger game and having impact. Anybody else? Resistance? Where does that come from anyway? Fear. Exactly. Getting out of your comfort zone. Resistance of, no, I'm not ready. No, I'm not the right person for them. No, all this stuff. So here's what I've experienced. Resistance falls into 6 categories for us entrepreneurs. The first one is what we'll call analysis paralysis, perfection paralysis, and logistics paralysis. May I please have some water, beautiful Team Bold Heart? Thank you. Analysis paralysis, perfection paralysis. Tell me about analysis, all of these paralyses. How does that show up for you? Roseanne?
I never feel like I have enough information to make the right decision. Way too much.
You get overwhelmed and then you don't make a decision. Yep, thank you. Yes? You go down the rabbit holes. You get lost in it, right? Are you looking for certainty? Is that what it is? Yeah? Yes? Yeah, you're looking for a guarantee. Yeah, absolutely. Gili? It has to be perfect before it comes out. Raise your hand if that's how it is for you. Yeah. So I want to talk about that. And maybe you got that in corporate because nothing could go out until it was perfect. Maybe you got that from your parents. But I have, and I've been dealing with, people who say, I can't go networking because I don't have business cards. I don't have business cards because I don't have a company name. And I don't have a company name because I have not found a URL. And I can't get a logo for my business card because I don't have a company name and I don't have a URL and all this stuff. Which means that I'm just going to stay at home and not go networking, and I'm going to sit behind the computer and wait for it to be perfect before I get out there and get some clients. And people will, or I can't send out my warm letters and get referrals because I don't have the company logo to put at the top. You see where we're going with this? What is this a recipe for? Disaster. And really, really slow results. So a lot of times people say, thank you. This is like the magic of the fairies at the Bold Heart team. Somehow this showed up. Thank you, I love you. Some people say, my situation is unique, right? Will whatever work for me? When do I know if it's the right time? What time, will we be breaking for lunch, and what will be having for lunch before I make a decision to do anything? What if it's too soon? Do I need to wait? There is all this stuff that happens around waiting for perfection, waiting for guarantee, waiting for the right time. What I have found is that is self-sabotage. I know I don't want to say it because I don't want you to feel bad, but it is self-sabotaging your efforts. How is it self-sabotaging your efforts? You tell me. Keeps you stuck. Right. The likelihood is you're not going to do it, or that when you start it, 6 months later, a year later, you've missed. I have a lot of compassion, no judgment around this, but I see this a lot. You miss out on the opportunity. I was saying at the lunch this morning, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. What? Yeah, right? Here's what I believe. Write this down. Take imperfect action now. and perfect it later. This is one of the reasons that people in the program do really well, is because we lovingly coach them into not waiting for things to be perfect. Just get it out there and perfect it later. I know that can bring anxiety, but you know what? We think that somebody has that eagle eye that we have. No. Like somebody won't publish their book because there are a couple mistakes in the 9th chapter. Most people won't get past the 1st chapter anyway. True? We don't. Okay? And it's better to publish, meaning anything, like just get it out there. As Seth Godin would say, ship it. Just ship it. It's not that you don't care, but like, let's get it out, and you can always send them a free copy of whatever afterwards. Okay? So notice how you have previously stopped your progress by overthinking. The overthinking is not your intuition. The overthinking is the ego mind. Is that okay to say, Mandy? Yeah? Yeah. And so, this is the process I want to share with you. Like, trust your intuition. One hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. And just say, is it okay for me to do this without completely overthinking it? Like, can I trust the process? Will I be safe, even if this isn't perfect or fully answered? Turn to the person next to you and say, I'm going to try that. Number 2, money paralysis. Yeah, who said woohoo? What's that for you? What's money paralysis for you? Negative income. Yeah. We're tying this back into some of the things that we did already this morning, right? The question may be, can I really afford this particular opportunity? I need a virtual assistant. Can I really afford to get help in my business? Where will the money come from? The money already exists. When you do the 50 ways list fully, you will find the money. How many people have actioned the 50 ways list so far and made some money? Yes, awesome. What about the rest of you? What's that?
I'm being so present in the room.
You're being present in the room. I invite you to be present in the room and hustling for money at the breaks. No, I'm serious. I'm not picking on you, Elena. I'm saying there has to be this no excuses approach to getting what you want in life. Okay? Whether it's money or a relationship or whatever, it's like, where do you put your attention and intention? Yeah, be present in this room. Don't be doing your 50 ways in this room. But we have plenty of time while we're here. And we also have, do it on the plane. Do it when you get home. Carve out a time every single day for 15 minutes. Have an automatic calendar thing from, let's say, 9 to 9:15 that says, action my 50 ways list. Write that down. If you want to find the money, it's there. You just have to act like an immigrant. I'm an immigrant. I came here not knowing the language. I came here not fitting in. I came here heavily bullied once I arrived. I hustled to do what it takes. I think that being an immigrant is part of what's helped me get the hustle on. Because when something means a lot to you, you'll do it. Can I be really contrarian and like bristle you? People in this country say, I'm broke, or there's no money. That's not true. Go and wash dishes. Oh no, that's above me. You know what I mean? I'm glad you're paying attention. That's below me. All right. Go watch somebody's kids. That's not enough money. One of my family members was out of a job for several years. And we kept saying to him, get a job, like get any job. No, that job doesn't pay enough. He was holding out for $150,000 a year. For several years, started to ask for money. Can you lend me money? Yes, but why don't you get a job? There are plenty of $75,000 a year jobs. No, I'm waiting out. I'm waiting for the 150. Okay, I get it, but like now you're in serious trouble. Like now you're begging your friends and family for money. We need to get our hustle on, put our ego to the side, show the universe that we are committed to getting the thing that we say we want. It's reciprocity. Greatness does not go on sale. You have to put in the sweat equity to get the reward. So thank you, Martha. She wants you to clap with her so she's not alone. Who do we think we are? We're better than... No, immigrants have got it right. And I have huge, huge honor and awe. Because there are some people who were doctors in their country who are now cleaning houses. And look at us. No, my friends. We, bold hearts, we hustle. Say it with me. We hustle. We hustle. When I started out, I chose resourcefulness. I hustled and I found the money. There was a point at which, when I was in my first business, which was a nutrition business called Natural Transformations, I didn't have enough money to stay afloat. I started doing these, it was called, I still have the emails, Getting Started in the Kitchen Cooking Classes. $35. Now, for those of you who know my story about the 3 a.m. sweats in my 250 square foot, my 350, I don't even remember now, 300 square foot apartment in New York City. Tiny, tiny kitchen. My dad helped me build a foldable table. So I got plywood and these like foldable feet, whatever you call them. And I put like some tablecloth on it, and I bought a camping grill, a Coleman grill with the butane thing. And I gave cooking classes in my living room. $35 a person, 10 to 12 people, every couple of weeks. That was about $350 times 2, that's $700 a month. That helped me get through and keep going in my business. What could you do on the side, right? To afford something I really wanted, I went to the person who, well, some of you, has anybody gone to IIN in this room? I went to Joshua. And I said, I need a part-time job. He said, I thought you had your own business. I said, I need some more money. He hired me part-time for 4 months. That made all the difference in the world. What are you getting from this? What? Hustle, baby. Hustle. Yes, you have a...
I just wanted to share my little story because I'm also an immigrant, and I came here when I was 20, pretty much like not speaking any English, like I didn't have any job skills. I came here by myself, like my family was back in Russia, and I had this dream like to live somewhere like in a different country, like not in my little hometown. And I was like cleaning the houses, I was a waitress because I didn't speak any English. Fast forward, I went to college, I got my degree, I got my CPA license, I was working like in a #1 accounting firm, only to quit all this because I hated my job so much, like it wasn't really speaking to me, like it wasn't meaningful. And 3 years ago, like I started my own business, like now I empower women like through portraiture, making pretty much like 15K a month.
Woo! Thank you. That spirit of hustle stays with you your whole life. Seriously. Turn to the person next to you and say, I'm going to start acting like an immigrant. At different points in my business, I knew that to get to the next level, I needed to invest. Doing more of the same would have brought me more of the same results. But sometimes the capital wasn't there. That's okay, happens to everybody. Here are some of the things that I did. Very simple. I did a Google search. 0% credit card offers. I knew that if I was approved for a credit card with 0% APR for a year, and I made my payments on time, right? This is taking personal responsibility. I could fund my business without any interest. I hustled. I got the capital. I did the thing that I needed to do. I hustled and made the money back and paid off the credit card before even the 12 months were over. I borrowed other people's money and never paid an extra cent. That is awesome. That's resourcefulness. There are places that you can borrow money. There's Fundwise Capital. Have you ever used that, gotten a loan for your business? No? Write it down. I'm not sure. Write it down, and you can always contact them and say, are there any UK or Europe alternatives? But you can afford anything you want if you get resourceful. Like, don't get stopped. Don't get stuck. Get scrappy. Arr. Go ahead, do it with me. Arr. Who just barked? Of course it's you, Cherise. Get scrappy. Like, get immigrant-y. Like, get hustly. Like, get resourceful. You are not lazy. Turn to the person next to you and say, I am not lazy. I'm resourceful. You have things like PayPal credit. Do you know about PayPal credit? Write it down, paypalcredit.com. You want to find money for something? There it is. Then the key is do everything to get the money back quickly. If you're hiring somebody, train them. Get everything off your plate. Give it to them, and then use that time not to eat bonbons on the sofa, But use that time to go market your business. Use that time to go work on exponential growth activities. Use that time to do epic things you didn't have the time to do, and that will pay for the investment you made in that person. This is about personal responsibility. This is a hack. You want a greater impact in your business? That means don't let yourself get stuck the way everybody else does.
Something that I want to add to that, what if you don't want to commit to something that you don't want to stay with for a long period?
What if you don't want to commit to something that you don't want to stay with for a long time?
Maybe it's just a side hustle for a little period.
Oh, yeah. The side hustle. I teach this in the growth track. The side hustle doesn't have to be for a very long time. Like, if you want to get a part-time gig, in your mind, you don't tell them it's, don't lie, okay? I do not believe in lying. Don't say, I'm going to be here for 2 years, but in your mind, you could just say, I'm just doing this for 6 months. I'm just doing this for 6 months. I'm smart enough to get a paycheck from somebody else while I grow my business. I did it. When I tell people that I did it, they're like, oh, thank God, then I can do it. I'm like, well, you didn't need the permission train, but here it is. Just do it. Are we good with this? High five the person next to you. Sometimes we are ruled by rules. Beware of the rules that you have that stop you from doing the things that will take you to your next level. Sometimes they're around money. Some people have rules around not investing in themselves until. Who's got those? Yeah, how's that working? Nah. So I want to give you an example. A few years ago, I wanted to bring on, this is probably like 7 years ago, I wanted to bring on coaches to help me coach my clients and my members, because at this point it was getting so big, I just couldn't handle it all on my own. But I had a rule that the person who would coach my clients could not have her own business. Why? Because I had been burned in the past by somebody. I hired somebody who had her own business, and she solicited my clients. She interviewed my clients who were getting results in my program and she interviewed them for a testimonial and put those testimonials on her website. She said, collectively, my clients last quarter made over $259,000. No, they were my clients. So I got burned, and I created a rule. And what was the rule? Exactly. Nobody will work for me if they have their own business. And so for years and years, and Derek and the team kept saying, you need to hire a coach to coach your clients alongside you. You cannot handle it. You are overwhelmed. You can't sleep. But I had a rule. And so we kept interviewing people, and all the best people were like, I'm not giving up my business. I love my business. I'm like, shit. And finally, I remember exactly where it was. It was Derek, Barry, Blue. They sat me down on my porch in Stamford, and they had an intervention. And I'm crying, and I'm saying no, and there's snot coming out of my nose. It won't work. Nobody in their right mind would work for me if they have their own business. They're all going to be out there taking my clients. And they did not let up. It was like alcoholics intervention. It took hours. And I'm like, fine! Okay, I'll break my rule. But if this does not work, I made the decision. I'm wiping my tears. 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh, I can think of 2 people right now. Gail and Rochelle. I called them that afternoon. They both said yes that afternoon. Because you know them, right? They both said yes that afternoon. They stayed with me for over 5 years. Had I not broken my rule on my own, I needed no coercing. Had I not done that, I wouldn't have grown my business because I would have had chaotic vibration around growth. Does that make sense? But because I had the right people in place, I could go out there and market. And so investing in getting people to come into my business, I had to break my own rules around that. We have rules, sometimes around investing in yourself. I won't do something unless I can pay for it in full. Okay. But how is that working for you? Is that slowing you down? I can't invest in my business until I finish working with somebody else, then I'm going to invest in something. Okay, but that's a rule. Where did you come up with that rule? You don't have to. There are so many rules that we have around getting the support we need. Deep breath in. So true. So think like Einstein. Right? The reason that he was able to come up with E equals mc squared, because it wasn't working, and he finally broke a rule, and ta-da! So, I'm asking you now, what unfounded rules that you may have are preventing you from taking action on useful opportunities that are presented to you? Turn to the person next to you, or would you rather journal? Which one? Journal? Okay, journal. What unfounded rules do I have that prevent me from taking action on useful opportunities that are presented to me? Deep breath in. Share with me some of the rules that came up for you, please. I shared mine with you. Yes? I have to stay in my lane. What does that mean?
It means that I can't be creative, I can't be expressive, I can't go outside and try something different because this is the lane I'm in.
Ah. And is that stifling you? Okay. Yeah, break that rule. Yeah. Yes.
Don't ever appear as if you don't understand things, so don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions. You might look like you don't know what you know. Yep, exactly. Yep. Yeah. Is it working? No. Break your rule. Yes. Yes. Nope. You. Yeah.
That I only want to do it if it's my way.
I want to do it only if it's my way. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Donna?
I had one bad experience with a for-profit public company and one person in that company, and I just decided we don't work with those companies.
Fascinating, right? One experience with a particular, I'll just call it industry, and I'm no longer working in that industry. Yeah. Break your rules. Remember Bruce Lipton in the thing? Just look at your life. What's not working? You don't have to go into like years of, therapy. What's not working? What's your rule around that? Why is that not working? What are my rules here? Last one. I don't work with men. And do you want to change that? Maybe you need to work with men. Yeah, excellent. All right. All right, last one, really, the last one.
I prefer working with men because they're less dramatic and they're task-oriented and they get over stuff. They don't.
But is that a rule that you have that you want to break?
I kind of did, and that's why I was in my masculine kind of space until I saw you. And I went, oh, that feels more comfortable. This is where I'm more comfortable. But I'm more comfortable in myself.
Yeah.
But I'm safer around men.
Ah, I see.
Because of my background history with being my grandmother and my mother. So emotional safety for me is more with men and not with women.
So a lot of people, thank you, a lot of people over the last couple of days have said, you seem more feminine in your feminine energy than ever before. I will teach you this afternoon what I did. Would you like to know? Yes. And how it's changed my life. All right, excellent. Number 4. Giving away the decision-making power to someone else. This is especially true, I'm sorry, gentlemen, but this is especially true of the ladies, so I'm speaking mostly to them. For some reason, we women feel like we can't make our own decisions. I'm not saying everybody, I'm saying it's kind of pervasive. Would you say that that's true? Raise your hand. Yeah, 2, yeah. So, whether you have a business partner, whether you have a spouse, sometimes it's even a family member, all eyes on me, everyone. Now we're going to go deep into, like, this is like raw conversation. Can we go there? Okay. Because this is about the mindset of women. And where we women have stopped ourselves previously from playing really, really, really big. Often, we want to make a decision on an opportunity that is given to us. And we reach out to someone else to ask. And perhaps that person wasn't there when the opportunity was presented. An opportunity for growth. Now, that person wasn't there and therefore doesn't know what's involved. Things are unclear. They have few details, which means there's fear of the unknown. Is that true? Are you with me here? Often, the person is wired exactly differently than you are, which means that you're typically a risk taker, open to opportunities, high idea generator. And they, by virtue of your relationship, are the exact opposite. Mitigate risk. Don't try new things. They have no idea what everything is about. They are risk averse. You're excited. And you go to them and ask for permission. Have you ever been in that position? Are you in that position now? Sometimes they say, but it's a joint bank account. I say, okay, valid. Well, first of all, you should have in your business your own bank account. Debbie, would you say that that's true? So make a note, if you don't have a separate bank account for your business, you must have one. It may be a joint bank account, but I'm here to tell you that this is also your business. This is your path. This is your journey. And in many situations, you have added to the bank account by the things that you've done. And so you can, comment on dit, retraire? Who's French here? Retraire. You can withdraw, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm in Paris in my head. You can withdraw from that. You are worthy of. You are valuable. You can. And so what I find is that a lot of women especially, this doesn't happen as much for the men, sheepishly ask for permission to do something that they want. No, this is pervasive. We have had women for the last 10 years come up to the mic and say, I really want to do something. I really want to do this, Fabienne. I really want to join. Tears, tears, tears. I know I'm a 10 out of 10. But if I do this, I'm going home to a fight. We're going there, okay? I'm going home to a fight. I said, I get it. I get it. This is how I coach them, whether it's for this or anything else in their life. You can simply inform them that you're doing it and why. And I'll explain how to do it and how it works and why it works. You don't have to say, honey, can I please do this? What they are looking for is your confidence and conviction. Write that down. They are looking for my confidence and my conviction. It's like going to the banker. You don't say, well, I'm not sure I really want it, but can I please have it? No. The banker wants you to come and say, I would like a loan. I am confident and I am convinced that this is going to work. Who are they going to give the money to between these two scenarios? The confidence and conviction. Your partner is the same way. They're likely risk averse. They don't have the details. And so you must go in with confidence and conviction. Because it's the same way of going to, only the ladies will understand this, going shopping with a friend and you're in the dressing room, you're like, do you think these pants make me look fat? I don't know if I like that. Because your friend wants to be nice to you. She'll say, yeah, I see what you mean. I don't really think they're the pants for you. Meanwhile, she is like, it's not even her pants, her body. If you came in and you said, oh my God, I love these pants. Don't you think these pants make my ass look amazing? What would she say? No, I don't think so. She'd be like, yes, you have to get those. Right? It's the same fucking pair of pants. It's how you show up in the conversation. It's how you show up in the conversation. So you say, I am so excited. I found something that is the thing that I have been looking for years. This is the thing that's going to help me do this, this, and this, and this. I am over the moon. I am doing this. I am so happy. I'm so proud of myself. What's the difference? Confidence. Conviction. Great energy. You get the validation from inside yourself as opposed to outside yourself. A loving partner does want to support that. But when you come and you say, I'm not sure about these pants. Do you think? I'm not sure. It's way different. And so you can go to the person and say, I'm doing this. And if there's resistance, you say, honey, do you believe in me? No, seriously. Do you love me? Do you believe in me? Do you actually fully support me?
I'm Tanisha Ali, butterflytransformations.com. I have a story yesterday. When I left out of here, well, in coming to the conference, I'm from the Atlanta area. In coming to the retreat, I didn't expect to necessarily be leaving out a growth member. I had so many breakthroughs yesterday, and I met a wonderful lady from Australia, wherever she is. Thank you. She should be on your sales team, although that was not her intention at all. But anyway, I left out of here, and when I got in the car, I said, honey, I made a decision. That's just the way I was so hyped up, and I'm hyped up anyway, but I was so hyped up. I said, honey, I made a decision. And I proceeded to go into some of the synchronicities that have happened since I've been here. And I said, you know, the last 3 months I've been in this vortex. This is the most constant thing every day consistently for the last 3 months. I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. And I proceeded to say, within 6 months, I will be on a 6-figure trajectory. You watch and see. I will do this, I will do this, I will do that, and I will do that. And I was serious, but the interesting dynamic is, in my previous marriage, some number of years ago, even though I was kind of running the show and had my own business, I would have let something, some doubt, some ambivalence in his energy cause me to just kind of shrink back. But I took charge of that situation last night, and I really didn't have to because I have an extremely supportive husband, but I awakened this morning to the $500 check that I gave you guys yesterday. From him.
From him.
So it was great. It was
Woo! This is the same way that life wants you to show up with your clients. Not like. It's not called weak heart woman, weak heart business. It's called bold heart for a reason. Lion, not a kitten. Yeah. So, if there's resistance, and this has got to be like a 10 out of 10 for you. If you're like a 2 out of 10, do not use this process because they will never trust you again. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Don't waste it on something that you're not really actually sure will help. But if you are sure, and if you know that you need some support, if there's resistance after you say, I am doing this, then you say, do you love me? Do you support me? Do you believe in me? Right? I'm doing this for me, but I'm also doing this for us. I'm doing this for our future. See, you must involve them. Because if this was all about you, here's what I will tell you. They will never support something they believe would compete for your attention. If they think you're going to leave them after this, whatever it is that you're doing, no, reassure them that nothing will get between the two of you. In fact, that you want to involve them. They want to know that you believe in yourself. Conviction, confidence. They want to believe, and you will do this, that you want an even better future for your family. And doing it the right way is how you'll do it for both of you. This is about doing it the right way, not the way that it's been done before. So, here's what partners also need to know. Sometimes, like a business partner will say, Harry, where are you? here, right? I mean, you can speak to this, yeah, but you don't have to. You don't have to. But sometimes the partners are resistant. You've got some business partners, and there's huge resistance in doing something for the business. What they want to know is there proof in the pudding? They want to see that the money will come. And you know what? They're right. They're 100% right. So, they want to know that it's going to work because they're smart. They're going to look at the ROI. Are they smart? Yes. Right? This is why I asked you to think about what is the ROI. When you're making a decision, think about the ROI. Is it going to be a 2-time ROI, a 4-time ROI, or a 5 or 10-time ROI over your career? And this is where you want to arm them with facts and figures. If, let's say, you're buying a product, if you're hiring a branding person, if you want to join us, if you want to hire a virtual assistant, go look for testimonials, go look for results, go prove to them that it works for other people. Because they're usually the analytical type. Analytical, responsible, consistent, just like my husband. And that you need that. But give them what they need. Tell them you will work like mad to keep your word. But this isn't a lie. You're going to work like mad to make it work. So if you hire somebody, you're going to train that person, right? You're going to give them everything they need. And at the same time, you're going to hustle to do the marketing activities to pay for that person. Remind me your name. You just came up to the mic. Yes. Tanisha? Yeah, this is Tanisha. I can and I will. Watch me. And let these not just be words. Because every time you say that and you don't do it, it weakens your word. So, you say, watch me. Oh, Derek, can you come up here for a second? Do you have a mic? Can we give Derek Fredrickson a mic?
I like your pants.
That's why I married him. Derek, I came home from a program, a 3-day program a few years ago, and I got in the car, and and thank you for watching the kids. And I said, guess what? I joined a program.
And I said, what's a program?
No. And I said, I joined a program. No, seriously, like, this is a serious conversation, okay? So I joined. I joined a program. I remember we were in the car.
Yep.
And what did you say?
I said, that sounds great.
What was it?
What is it? What's involved?
I'm going to learn this, I'm going to learn that, and it's going to grow my business, and I'm so excited. And this year is my breakout year. This is my breakout year.
And then I asked how much.
I said, guess.
And then it was a little bit of a guessing game. I started out and I said, what, maybe $500?
No, that's
1,000?
not true. That's
No,
not
but
true.
and then.
No, you said, is it 10?
Yes, but then I didn't realize that it was per month.
Okay, so just so you know, that's not at all what happened. But that's normal, I guess.
Yeah, and
So I'll tell the story. Anyway, it was like 10, no more. 15, no more. 20? 50?
And I think as she was increasing the numbers, the speed limit was going higher and higher as we were driving. And I was gripping the wheel, you know? The kids are in the back and completely oblivious to what. Yeah, I mean, I was.
I'm not finished.
Keep adding zeros.
And finally, he was like, more? I said, 100. I'm joining this program, and it's $100,000 for this year. And you said, do you want me to remind you?
I don't think it was PG.
No, because the kids were in the back.
That's true.
You said, wow.
And this is before we weren't working together. I was still in corporate, so this was a few years before that.
And I said, I know that I'm committed to getting to $1 million this year. So I'm perfectly happy spending 1 to get back 10. And do you remember? I mean, I don't know, should I have pulled you up here? But
Probably not. I'm not
What?
saying much. Just a prop.
I am not getting any tonight. Ay, ay, ay.
All right, keep it going.
No, anyway, but you're the reason I brought you up here is you're the kind of guy who was like, all right.
Yeah, I'm the analytical type, so I immediately went into how are you going to do this? Well, two things happened. One, again, this was before I was in the business, and I've had this realization for a very long time that this is your business. And I've said this before, it's not, I had a corporate job. It's not like I would come home and say to Fabienne, I need permission to invest in technology in my department in the company that I work for.
Or
Because that's my profession. I'm not going to question what you're going to do to invest in your business.
Or when you used to go to Brazil like all the time, you didn't say, can I go to Brazil? You said, I'm going to Brazil.
Yeah. And so I immediately went into how are you going to get the return on the investment? You're going to spend 5 figures a month, and it's got to be at least 2 to 5 times that. And the one thing I know about Fabienne, if you haven't realized this already and what she's sharing, is that the level of conviction and commitment in that moment was something that I had not seen before. So there really was no ounce of doubt that I knew that this was going to be a profitable investment. So for me, I could breathe, I could, go down to normal speed limit in the car, but I knew because I was just convinced that that's what she was going to do. Complete conviction and commitment to make it happen. And you rationalized it for me. For me, that's what I needed to know. How are you going to do it? We're going to invest in this, and then we're going to be able to launch that, and that's going to bring us this number of people into the room. So I could see it, even though it wasn't even my business, but to make me kind of see it from her perspective and get on the same page, I needed to rationalize. I'm a rational guy, so I needed to kind of understand it from that perspective, and that was extremely beneficial, but I knew you were going to get it done. And within literally a month, 2 months, like the first time you went, first couple calls, it was just the wheels are in motion, like, whew. And that was the year that you went from...
I went to $1 million in 9 months.
Yeah.
9 months. But if I had come to you and said, I'm kind of thinking, what do you think? I'm not sure. Can I please have permission? Would you have felt that level of commitment?
I mean, it was, I would have sensed your hesitation in the decision. And knowing that it was 100% decided. I mean, you already decided, but it was just
Done.
in the level of full-onness. If you had done it any other way, I would have doubted. But there was no self-doubt. There was no doubt in any of that. I mean, I knew. Yeah.
Does that mean I'm going to get some tonight? Or? How is this helpful?
Can I share that I didn't do this?
You didn't do this.
No. So
Do you want to come up to the mic real briefly? I still have a ton of content, and I have 21 minutes. Ton of content in 21 minutes. So you look amazing in red, Martha Fraser.
Thank you, Fabienne. A couple of different women spoke yesterday, and I'm actually glad I'm doing this because of the year I had and the stress, my husband, blah, blah, blah. I joined Bold Heart and I didn't tell him. All right? I paid out of my own company, all is fine. But, so when I was flying off to Paris, I was going, I'm going to a marketing conference, blah, 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 blah. And so I only realized we spent last week with Tony Robbins walking on fire together and falling in love again. And I said, and then he said he wants to go and we want to go to Fiji and we want to do this. And he just opened up. And I said, oh, by the way, I said, when I go off to Paris, I'm in this incredible group. And I told him everything. And he said, why didn't you tell me before? And I said, I didn't think you were ready to hear it. And the minute I told him about all my plans, my mission and everything. And he said, they sound like great ideas. How can we make that happen? Because he's a business guy for 20 years. He's an incredible business person. And I said, I have been trying to do this alone, and you could have been teaching me. You could have been doing it with me. And because I didn't see this process, I wish I had it, because I wasn't claiming my power in my relationship either. So women, claim your power and don't be afraid of the outcome.
Yeah.
I was too afraid of the outcome of what he would say.
Yeah.
So I hid that I did it. And I also realized by telling him that I was like, I don't have to hide that I'm doing this anymore.
Yeah.
And I was just going, things are going to even skyrocket even more now that we as a team are doing this together.
Yeah, give her a hand. So the idea is, make some progress. They will respect you. Make some money. Your business partner, your personal partner, whatever, whoever you're talking with, your banker, make some progress. Like, show them, involve them, right? I started involving Derek on evenings and weekends. Like, Martha, now you and your husband are going to start working together. You know what? They want to be involved. They want to know what's going on. They want to support you. And you can say, your full support is what I need most right now. Say it with me. Your full support is what I need most right now. Deep breath in. This needs to be said, even if it has nothing to do in your business. Even if you want to go on a vacation with your girlfriends, if you want to get a job and your partner wants you to stay home with the kids, but this is not what you want, like, you can ask for what you want. Not ask. You can get what you want for yourself, get your needs met with confidence and conviction. It's all about how you show up in the conversation. High five the person next to you and say, I got it. Number 5. Shh. Number 5. Perhaps you are scared. Can I really do this? Or will it be just another thing I don't succeed at? Who has resistance around stuff like that? Yeah, absolutely. That was me with the hiring the coaches. You know, I've had some people in leverage tell me, I can't hire another person. It just has gone so badly. I don't want to do this again. I don't want something else to fail at. You may have said yes to opportunities that did not work, or maybe in the past you have not done the work. And perhaps you have let others or yourself down last time. And you don't go for big things anymore. And this is where I'm inviting you to learn from past experiences. I know you're wondering, why is there Bill Murray and a groundhog on the screen? I have a process that I use in my life, in my business, at home. I want to tell you a story of how I use this personally, and then I'll give you a story about how I use this in my work and how you can use this for what you might call past mistakes. My son was heavily bullied last year. We went through a really dark period as a family, as he went through a really dark period. And I was trying to support him the best I could, but it was a little volatile, like it's uncharted territory for me. And one day, he's like, I just can't take it anymore. I just don't know what to do. And then this is where I put on my coach's hat, and I said, we are going to do a Groundhog Day on your life right now. And a Groundhog Day is a process that I use typically in business, and all of our members use them. What's working? Or for you, if you've had, let's say, a bad hire, or you've invested in something in the past and it didn't work, what worked? What didn't? If you had to be Bill Murray in the movie The Groundhog Day, or Groundhog Day, and get the opportunity to wake up every day and experience the same thing again and again, but you remember everything that happened over the course of the last few days. You get to keep the lessons. You remember what worked, and you also remember what didn't. So you can enter the experience again and do more of what worked and less of what didn't. And then you can create procedures and non-negotiable ways of doing things so that you never have to experience the thing that didn't work again. So with my son, we went through on his, experience over the last year. So what worked? This was good in my life, this is good, this is good, this is good. What didn't? This teacher, this kid, this thing. I don't have enough this. I need this. I need, things from I need a key to the apartment. I need you to move me out of that math class. I need you to, right? Knowing all of this, we came up with an action plan. There were 16 things on the action plan, and by the afternoon of the next day, we had implemented 14 of them. No, I need a bigger... And now I have a different kid. I have a completely different kid. He gets up at 6:30 in the morning, and before he pulls himself a bowl of cereal, he undoes the dishwasher. I'm telling you, the Groundhog Day exercise works. But there are people who have said, I cannot hire anything. Or I've been in a program before. I don't know that I can invest in another program because I didn't do the work or it didn't work for me. So now I have a rule, I'm not doing anything, right? No, do the Groundhog Day. Do the Groundhog Day. You can use this for everything. Everybody on my team in the back right now is filling out their own Groundhog Day on the event. I, in the green room, am filling out a Groundhog Day. What's working about the Mindset Retreat? What's not? What fell through the cracks? What didn't work? If I had to do the Mindset Retreat, let's say, exactly 12 months from now, what would I do differently? What would I do more of? and what non-negotiable procedures and things. I give this to you because if you've ever had an opportunity that didn't work, you're looking at it as if it's a failure and that you're a failure. And it's not, and you're not. You just haven't learned the lessons yet. Say, that's smart. Okay? So you're not a failure. You just haven't learned from it yet. This is about learning from the things that happened. Is this useful? Can you use this in your life? Okay. Okay. Turn to the person next to you and say, I can use this. A lot of times people will stay in self-doubt. Shh. A lot of times people will stay in self-doubt. But I want you to ask yourself, would I feel happy with my progress if 12 months from now I was in the exact same place? If you're overwhelmed, you got to get out of your comfort zone to create new results. That's where the magic happens, right? With faith. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. Deep breath in. Exhale. Number 6, believing you can do it on your own. Maybe you can. What do your results tell you? I thought I could coach hundreds of clients on my own, but my life was not working. I was not sleeping. My team couldn't get to me because I was just working. It's my experience that we can't do everything on our own consistently. We need support. We need help, especially in our business. If you could have done it on your own, you would have already. You're smart. Say, I'm smart. Yeah, I am smart. Especially when it's about growing your business. The pull of the muggle world is too strong. The pull of the way that other people show up in life is too strong. And so what I know is that we all need lots of accountability and lots of love. But this time, a different kind of love.
1998, Fortune magazine named a relatively unknown bank in Columbus, Georgia, Synovus Bank, the best company to work for in the United States. 57 consecutive quarters of double-digit profit growth, 15,000% growth in employees in 10 years from 1988 to 1998, a turnover rate 1/5 their industry average. So I'm intrigued. And they beat the pants off of all their major competitors in every market they're in. So I call up the CEO. I said, can I come and visit your bank? He says, yes. 3 months later, I'm sitting in his office in Columbus, Georgia. I said, Jimmy, before I meet anybody else in your bank, tell me, why is this the best company to work for in America? Why are you so successful? And I love it. In his strong Southern drawl, he said, John. He said, the secret of Synovus is the power of love. I said, Jimmy, I'm from up north. Could you say that again? He said, John, the secret of Synovus is the power of love. He said, you ask anybody in this bank why they love working here and why it's so great, they'll tell you it's love. He said, we love each other. We love the customers. We know each other's kids, each other's grandchildren. He said, one part of this company cries, the whole company cries with it. He said, you ask anybody the secret of this bank, they'll tell you the power of love. Gave me a badge, set me loose. I'm wandering around the bank and asking people, what's the secret of the bank? I said, the power of love. What's the secret of the bank? The power of love. But everywhere I go, I saw these 2 numbers on the wall, 100/0. Now, at first I thought, now this is an honest bank. I mean, they put it right up front where you can see it. You give us 100% of your money, you get nothing in return. You know, they never laugh at TD at that. I don't know why, you know. Their customers laugh. I just don't know why they don't laugh. But it's obviously not it because it's on badges, it's on walls, it's on desks. So finally I asked a teller in one of the branches, what's the 100 0? And she said, oh, that's easy. She said, the 100 stands for 100% responsibility. You never say it's not my job. You never say I'd have been on time if it wasn't for the traffic. You never say this would be a great company if the CEO would just do his or her job. 100% of the time, you take responsibility for the success of yourself and the success of this company. You know it's up to each one of us to keep this company great. She said, and the 0 stands for 0 excuses for not giving great service or great quality in every single interaction with every single person. There is never an excuse not to be your absolute best. I ran back to the CEO's office. I waited to see him. I said, Jimmy, wait a minute. You told me the secret of the bank's the power of love. What's with the 100 0 stuff? And I love it. He didn't even look up. He said, well, I forgot to tell you, it's tough love. But you know what? I think Jimmy Blanchard nailed it. He nailed it. If you want to create a highly engaged business, I would ask you right now, do you have those two things in your office? First of all, do you have the 100 0? We'll talk about the love in a minute. Do you have the 100 0?
When there's no accountability, the pressure is off. I equate it to going up to the Thanksgiving table with stretchy pants on. You know what I mean. People go back to their old ways when there's no accountability. Here's what we'll talk about this afternoon about breakthroughs and breakdowns. You are going to love this afternoon. You love everything? Thank you. Thank you. When playing bigger, I wrote here, there can be a tremendous urge to retreat. No. When playing bigger, there will be a tremendous urge to retreat. It's kind of like when I was telling you, I have somebody who helps me write. I mean, yes, she's there and she helps me with the copy, but mostly she's there just so I don't give up on myself. She's my accountability partner. Otherwise, I would go back into my comfort zone. Does anybody ever do that like me? Just like, oh, I don't feel like this, right? With accountability, things that were once impossible become easy. Things that were once impossible become your new normal. With accountability. And so the question is, are you willing? Are you willing to stop the resistance? Are you willing to stop staying stuck? Are you willing to walk off the escalator?
It's cold out there, Lindsay. It's cold out there, Lindsay. The wind, the sheer ice. Dealing with that takes work, training. Stay hungry. Ready to call it quits. Get up, Lindsay. Professional peace. Dominate. Are you gonna let them beat you? Are you gonna protect this house?
I will.
It's cold outside. Some reporters went to Lindsey Vonn and said, "That was an amazing Under Armour commercial. How was it? Was it hard to do that?" And she looked at him like he was a total putz and said, "I do this every day. I do this every day." Because she's committed. She's not stuck. She makes her success. She's not waiting for her success. Yeah, she has accountability, and she's thrown her whole self in. That's why she has several gold medals. She's committed. Let's watch that again. Are you willing?
It's cold out there. It's cold out there, Lindsay. The wind, the sheer ice. Dealing with that takes work, training. Stay hungry. Ready to call it quits. Get up, Lindsay.
Professional peace. Dominate. We're gonna let them beat you. Are you gonna protect this house?
I will.
So creating a bigger impact with your business, in the world, and even the idea of daring to, in your own little way, change the world comes down to a decision. Will you? That's it. Commit. Get what you need. Surround yourself with all the resources that you need, and then show up. Throw your whole self in. Turn to the person next to you and say, "All right. All right." How was this morning? Do we have some slides to put up? Some housekeeping slides? We're going to take a 30-minute break. Shh. We're going to take a 30-minute break. This is your opportunity to get in any questions answered or just make your next 50,000. Is that what you said? Yes. Hand in your commitment card if you'd like to be with us at the orientation and celebration lunch. I will see you at 11. Give somebody a hug, please.